So here's Donald Trump. That's the fun part, where Donald Trump destroys the career of a Republican politician. And I think we're going to see that more often. Paul Ryan, again, playing Hamlet. Should he support Donald Trump? Shouldn't I? Is this going to help me in 2020 or is it going to hurt me in 2020? I think he's going to get on board, would be my guess, because it's much easier to just scurry off the ship and blame the captain than being outside the boat. You want to be with everybody else, particularly if you're Paul Ryan. But here's the not so funny part about Donald Trump. I don't know. There was something when he was just running for the Republican primary, when he was just running in the primary as opposed to being the presumptive nominee, when he was actually like going to be one of two people who will be the president come this time next year, that made these comments not seem as horrific as they are. But I want you to contemplate what you'd be feeling right now if you and your family had spent the past year in transit. You've escaped the bombs of the Assad regime. You have escaped the death cult that is ISIS. You have probably trekked to refugee camps and gone through an incredible ordeal. And then you hear this.
Now, here's a beauty that you're going to all love. Syrian refugees are being relocated in large numbers to New Mexico. If I was governor, that wouldn't be happening. I couldn't care less. They say the governors have no choice. If I'm governor, I have a choice. Okay, believe me.
The thing that I think people don't understand is that Donald Trump represents an existential threat to a not insignificant number of people in this country. I mean, I think certainly if you are Muslim, certainly if you are Latino, and I think it's also safe to say, certainly if you're African American. I mean, this guy, the idea that, what if he was saying this about, it's just, I don't know, Irish refugees. The idea that this guy will be, it's going to be him or just one other person is going to be president. Bottom line.
Sorry, Liam.
Yeah, exactly. But there are people out there who, this isn't just like, oh my God, Donald Trump, that would be horrible in sort of like some type of bank shot way. There are people out there who I think feel and rationally feel like we're going to have to leave the country. That my family will not be physically safe to be here if he becomes the president. I think that a lot of those people are feeling threatened right now. And that is a completely rational thing to think. And I think it's very easy to forget that there are people who hear this type of stuff and they're not just disgusted, they're afraid.
It might shock you to hear that I've felt this way for quite some time. And I don't think that...
No, I don't. It doesn't shock me.
I know.
I'm still going to make fun of Donald Trump.
Well, right. But when you say that, and it's definitely true that when he says this stuff, it terrifies some people legitimately. I find it very terrifying. I found it terrifying to, in a personal way. It wouldn't directly mean like, oh my God, I'm going to be, but at the same time, it's terrifying in the sense that I'm not going to live in the same country anymore. The people that I interact with and that are around me that are considered safe and free in this country would no longer be considered safe and free. People that I care about, people that I, are going to be persecuted. And that to me is terrifying. I think a lot of people are do find that an existential threat in a lower grade way.
Well, I mean, but the point of an existential threat is that it's actually an existential threat.
Well,
I mean,
it changes your existence. I mean, if there were all kinds of classes of people and we weren't moving in the direction of greater freedom in this country,
listen,
then
I agree.
my existence would be
I
greatly
agree.
changed.
But my point is just that there are people who hear this, and I think the first thing they do is they go and check and see, like, are our passports ready? Do we have a place to go? And I think that's a completely rational response. But I think that's easy. And I mean, I'm not diminishing. Obviously, there's a tremendous amount of disgust to be felt about this. But I'm saying, like, there are people who literally like, okay, let's figure out an escape plan. Like,
and those people are why I lose patience with commentators who say, don't protest Trump because that's just going to like make people like him more or something like that. Like they're worried about the backlash. I feel like people are going to protest this.
Yeah. And they should. And they should. Hello, you. I'm Sam Seder. Looking for smart progressive talk that is occasionally amusing? Well, subscribe to our YouTube feed. Subscribe to our podcast. Like us on Facebook. And just generally enjoy us.